Hello, newwavebritish.heavymetal.com here. Today it's the 28th of May 2022. If I can start as usual with the request for a favour, and that's if you would please subscribe to the channel, that'd be excellent. So please do hit the button if you can. Right, today the excellent Quartz are back. Oh yes, with their new album On the Edge of No Tomorrow, and what a fine album it is indeed. And whether you classify Quartz as new wave of British heavy metal or not, given that they've been around since the mid-1970s, some say, well, they were more influencing the Wobbum than part of it, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because this is such a fine album, who cares, right? Just enjoy this album for what it is. A band that after nearly 50 years in existence can still churn out stuff as good as this. You know, and Quartz, of course, they're going to be forever associated with the whole Midland rock scene back then. You know, your Black Sabbath and your Judas Priest and whatnot. And they did, of course, have a particular connection with Black Sabbath, and that shows up in some of the songwriting on this album in a good way. In a good way, they're not copying stuff; they're doing it in their own style. And indeed, on one of the songs here, "Evil Lies," we've got ex-Sabbath vocalist Tony Martin appearing on it. There's also a bit of a homage to the late Jeff Nichols, who passed away a few years ago. Prior to his death, he'd been working on some songs and some demos, and some of them have been completed by guitarist Mick Hopkins and appear on this album, which is a fine way to remember Jeff. And make no mistake, On the Edge of Tomorrow is Quartz at the top of the game. Bar Tony Martin's appearance, the vocals are shared between the returning Jeff Bate, goes all the way back, and Dave Garner, and that's all allied with founder members Mick Hopkins, Derek Arnold, and Malcolm Cope. So the core of original Quartz is still there. Arnold and Cope locked together as tightly and as solidly as any rhythm section anywhere that you'd care to mention. Hopkins shows his considerable chops. There's riffs aplenty, measured solos, which are all effective without needing to be showy. We've got 14 intelligent, well-paced, quite pulsing heavy rockers, clear production job, and it gives quite an atmospheric feel to much of it as well. And it's not hard that you can hear the Sabbath influences. Nor think when listening that somehow some of it could be wouldn't have been out of place on Heaven and Hell or even the Dio album. Mentioning some of the songs, Freak and Nature, nice opener. We've got one of those cutting Nichols riffs. Death or Glory builds on that. There's nice chug fest going on before it breaks out. They Do Magic, really lively, bouncy number. Got some pace to it. Night of the Living Dead, monster song, slightly doomy feel to it, and a big chorus. Tony Martin puts his all in on Evil Lies, and that bursts out from a gentle start. Angel at the Crossroads, one of the Nichols songs, would have been right at home on Heaven and Hell. Indeed, the entire album, more than solid all the way through. They can even mix it up and do catchy melodic stuff such as What Is Love, which has a monster hook to it. Then it closes out with Highway to Madness, which is a superb, darkly brooding, slow burner number, which is not dissimilar to what Sabbath were doing when they first started. And talking of first started, when you remember that Quartz originally formed as Bandy Legs, I wonder where they got that name from, all the way back in 1974, and here we are 48 years later, if my maths adds up, and they're still churning out stuff as good as this. Yet more evidence that the old uns know how to do things properly and still remain fresh and relevant and able to do it. Marvellous stuff. Quartz are back. Enjoy this album muchly. Do check it out. Whether it's old Wobbum fans like me or you just like good rock songs, there's plenty here for anyone to enjoy. I'll put a link in the description box to the album on Amazon so you can check it out. It's the CD and MP3 or whatever it is. I still don't get all that side of it, but anyway, do check it out. It's more than worthy, really is, and good to have Quartz back. So we'll leave it there. Please subscribe before you go if you would. That would be marvellous. Please hit the button, and of course, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.